Well, 2025 has just begun. And I know there's a lot of things are going to happen, but however, we're only going to focus on today with ChocoPro number 418, starting the new year with them with some interesting matches. We have, of course, two matches involving trios matches, one which is a straight up tag team match. And then, of course, AEW Dynamite, Fight for the Fallen. We have some very interesting matches taking place. We have that three-way match involving the number one spot in the Casino Battle Royale match that will take place real soon. And of course, we have rated FTR taking on the Death Riders, which is going to be an awesome match to take a look at. But first things first, we are still going to continue with events that are still remaining for 2024. The first one is, of course, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling with their last pay per view of 2024 with year end party featuring many matches. We do have a 5-on-5 elimination match. We do have two title matches. And, of course, we have a Princess Rumble match taking place. So that's going to be a lot of fun to take a look at. And then, of course, we have MARIGOLD's last show of the year of 2024 with Winter Wonderful Fight, featuring, of course, we do have an award ceremony on certain levels of categories. We do have a Rookie of the Year tournament, a one-day event with the only four rookies in the roster, and one will walk out as Rookie of the Year of 2024. And then we do have a battle royale match as well on this one, so that's going to be a lot of things taking place. And then we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, let the new year begin. So, full steam ahead. So let's begin with our very first review, and this is, of course, the last show of 2024 with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling year-end party. Okay, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling year-end party. This took place recently on the 29th of December 2024, which is the same day where Stardom had Dream Queendom. Sorry I couldn't put this on the same review as that, but I couldn't do it due to the timing. However, this one, it was in Cork and Hall, in case anybody asks. However, as usual, we have Sayuri Namba actually doing the opening of the show where she greets the fans, give the information. However, during her time of the opening, she called out, of course, Yuki Arai to give a little information. It just turned out that our current international princess champion, it was announced that she will be graduating as an idol. So uh, it was later revealed that she'll have a 2 or 3 day event as an idol left in Nagoya, where she's from. And of course, that's going to be a fun one where she will be, of course, doing something a collaboration with the Up girls, and then of course her with the Ski 48 group where she's originally from. So there's a lot of things. So I'm looking forward to see how things will be going to go. And then of course they left the show running, or left with the Up girls doing, of course, a performance, which is very interesting to watch. But yeah. Now, our first match, we have Chika Nanase taking on the newbie Ivy Steele. Now, normally I would think, in my honest opinion, when it comes to wrestlers like Ivy Steele, she would definitely try to lose the match to someone like Chika Nanase, who practically, in my opinion, has a bit more experience than her. But for some odd reason, the match was booked where she wins the match when she applies this thing called the Vines of Ivy. I don't know what that is, but it looks more like a similar to the Riptide that what's her name, Rhea Ripley applies. I don't know if she's a Rhea Ripley fan, because I'm not sure they're from the same country or so. I'm not sure. I'm not. I think she's British or Australian, somewhere around there. But yes, so you get my drift. So that kind of goes out in its own way. But yeah. Our next match, we have a 5-on-5 elimination match. We have team number one, Yoshiko Hasegawa, Yuta Takami, Shino Suzuki, Suzumi, and Mizuki. They take on Shoko Nakajima, Toga, Momoka Miyamoto, Arisu Endo, and Haru Kazushiro. So, how did this event goes? Well, this is how the actual event goes. Let me pull it up for all of you. It opened up with Shoko Nakajima and Hasegawa taking on, but it went. Nakajima was the one who won by a pinfall on this one, and the next person to step in was Uda Takami, but unfortunately she lost to Nakajima. But however, Nakajima's opponent that beat her, and that is of course Shino Suzuki. So that kind of went in that type of way, and then of course Toga was next to step in, but Shino Suzuki was able to defeat her. But unfortunately, the match ended. Then, of course, Toga, what's her name? Moka Miyamoto eliminated Shino Suzuki, and just like that, under 29 seconds. And then Moka Miyamoto and Suzumi once again decided this match ended in a time limit draw. But however, they decided to break the draw with a 1 count rule. Basically, instead of having the 3 count, whoever makes the pin with the 1 count, it's over. So that's a pretty cool rule. So the person who received the pin, who won the match, was Suzumi. And then, of course, Suzumi has to go against her tag team partner, Arisu Endo. Once again, this one ended in another time limit draw, and then we jump into the 1 count rule. It was Arisu Endo who picked up the win after the 1 count after 58 seconds. And then she has to face Mizuki. Fortunately, Mizuki won this match. And then finally, we have Aru Kazushiro. Basically, Mizuki won. So the match lasted up to that long, as you probably can guess. So the winners is Hasegawa, Takami, Suzuki, Suzumi, and Mizuki. So they picked up the win very well. Now, our next match, this is one of 2 championship matches taking place. The first one is to set up All Asian Women's title. Now, remember, recently, Pam Harajuku made a travel to Thailand and faced off Namchan. The last time these two faced off, this was during in a 3-way match or so. But Pam Harajuku decided to go challenge her for this belt. Pam actually won the belt. And now Matt Chat wants the belt back. So the real question is, does Pam Harajuku has what it takes to retain the belt, or Nacho reign her supreme and bring the belt back to Thailand? However, it took only 2 Palm the Justice by Palm to pick up the win in order to walk away and retain the belt. So we'll see who will be the next challenger. Now, our next match, it's Yuki Kamifuku defending her belts from Singapore Wrestling, the Queen of Asia Championship, and the Vietnam Pro Wrestling Women's title. As you know, she's a double champ. She defends those belts against Li Yang Li, formerly known as in WWE Xia Li. So, of course, this was going to be a impressive match. I mean, many of you, I'm sure those who probably are big fans of her, of Xia Li, would think she's going to walk out as the winner because she's the fan favorite. But unfortunately, it took only a famous serve by Yuki Kamifuku to pick up the win, and just like that, it was completely over. Now, our next match, this is the Princess Rumble match. So basically, we have almost the entire roster involved in this one. So let me pull out how this one rolls out. We have Hyper Mizawa eliminates Yuna Manase, and then of course she she eliminated Poison Sawada Jewel over the top, and then she lost to Hyper Mizawa over the top rope. Kirasama had this eliminated what's his name, Antonio Honda. Yeah, we have guys involved in this match. Maki Ito eliminates Miyu Yamashita, which is very cold. And then Tokopan got rid of Kira Summer. Then Wakana Ohara eliminates Maki Ito. Rika Tatsumi also eliminates Hirora and over the top. Then Rika Tatsumi pinned Tokopan. Yuki Arai eliminates over the top Mahiro Iru. Aja Khan did the same thing with Wakana Uhara. Kaya Toribami pins Haru Neko. Aja Khan and Raku pinned Kaya Toribami. But Rika Tatsumi pinned Aja Khan, was really messed up. Miyu Watanabe and Yuki Arai eliminates Rika Tatsumi over the top. Then they do the same thing to Ryo Mizunami. And then finally, it became Yuki Ano and Raku pinned Yuki Arai, but later Miyu Watanabe pins Raku, and then became Miyu Watanabe and Yuki Ano, just like that. Miyu Watanabe, our current champion, actually wins the match. So basically, that's how the whole thing goes. So you probably get a clear idea. I mean, it was a crazy match. I think this match lasted up to 37 minutes and 7 seconds. So very crazy. But yeah. So that's pretty much it. What happened in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. That's the last show of 2024. Can't wait to see what 2025 is in store for them. But right now, let's move on with our next review, and that is of course MARIGOLD. Okay, MARIGOLD. We continue with day 10 of the Winter Wonderful Fight. This happened on the 31st, which is on New Year's Eve, in Shinjuku Face. Now, it starts out with, of course, the roster of the night appearing, and they were in the ring, but they decided to take a glimpse of course, video when, of course, MARIGOLD was launched, and every match all the way till the end of the year. And I thought it was a very touching moment. I remember seeing the press conference. I thought it was very interesting. And not to mention, one thing I like about MARIGOLD that I never actually can admit to everybody is I like the theme song. It's pretty cool. I love it. Very moving. So I'm trying to see if I can find it, but no luck. But however, they did have this thing where they do like the grand prize. So they give awards out to certain wrestlers for certain categories. Let me pull that up so that way we can get that done out of the way. I don't want to miss anything that you guys probably did not miss. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Okay, the Shine Award goes to Kyoki Amari. So nice job. I mean, she has shown a lot of promising. The award for Fighting Spirit goes to Bozilla. The Skill Award, Miku Anu. I'd say I would agree with that one. Special Achievement Award, Utami Ayashida. Best Tag Team, Mirai and Mai Sakurai. I don't know if anybody would disagree because I think some people would have preferred Twin Towers, but I would see why Might I and Mai Sakurai, they have established a great tag team due to their you know, history back in Stardom. Then we have, of course, how do I say, best match, and that one is from December 13th, recently in Shinjuku Face for the Marigold World Championship between Sari and Nana Takahashi. And as for MVP award, that goes to Sari. So Sari walked out as 2 wins in 2 awards in Marigold. So basically, not bad. So that's pretty much what happened in the awards. However, not the majority of the roster. They decided to take the remainder of the show a break because they were involved in the Marigold Rumble match. But however, 4 of the rookies decided they were involved in a 1-day tournament. The Rookie of the Year 2024 tournament, and they did with the first round. Now, here's the matches that went down. First match, we have Nagisa Tachibana, who recently made her debut in Korakuen Hall. She faces against Yuki Minami. Pretty good match. I wasn't too sure how this was going to go. Yuki Minai actually does have a bit of the experience in her, and of course she picked up the win when it seems like a modified guillotine headlock match. Headlock, I'm not sure, but it looks more like a headlock from the angle I was watching. But yes, so she proceeded into the finals. But the second match, we have Ryoko Sakimura taking on Naho Yawada. Nothing too significant, but it was Yawada that picked up the win when she applied like an underhook power driver or so. Um, and then she proceeded in the finals. But now let's jump into the finals. We have Yawada and Minami. I wasn't too sure who was going to walk out. I mean, these two ladies do have a bit of experience in the wrestling business, even though they're rookies because they came from 2 different promotions. Minami with Ice Ribbons, um, Yawada from At-Risk Girls, but it was Minami who walked away with the win when she applied a somewhat of a suplex. It looks more like a similar to the Peach Sunrise that Momo Watanabe applies, but yes, that's how it rolls. So she won as this year's Rookie of the Year of 2025. So we'll see how 2024. We'll see how 2025 will be for the rookies. Now let's jump into the main event, which is the Marigold Rumble match, I believe. Let me pull that up. So we have almost everybody. Let's see. We have Bozilla, Chiaki, Chigagoto, Hummingbird, Kyoki Omori, Masakura, Miku Anu, Mirai, Misa Matsui, Nagisa Nozaki, Nana Takahashi, Nao Ishikawa, Rhea Seto, Suri, and Utami Ishida and Victoria Yuzuki. So a lot of things happen on this particular match, and of course you cannot forget that certain matches are involved in preliminaries, like of course Utami Ishida versus Suri, Mikuano and Mai Sakurai, that sort of thing. But there was a good moment where there was like a bit of a push, kind of like they do in football. Mai Sakurai was on top of these girls doing that little pose thingy. I was surprised that no one broke off and she just fall down. But I can tell you the winner of this match was Bozilla. So I'm not sure exactly what she went. I mean, I would have presumed she probably would have wanted a world title shot. I'm not sure. I mean, she did challenge for that belt recently against Suri, but lost. But later, of course, they gave away. They did a little, Happy New Year. They even did the countdown around that time. So pretty interesting. So it was a pretty good event. I enjoyed it. Can't wait to see what their first show of 2025 will be like. It will be on January 3rd, the same day as, of course, Stardom will do their show as well. So we will pay attention to that very, very closely. But for right now, let's end things here with Mighty Gold and move on with ChocoPro. Okay, ChocoPro 418, and this is their first show of the new year in 2025. It opened up with Balanaki doing his usual routine, greeting the fans, giving the info on what matches are going to happen, yada, yada, yada. But let's get started with, of course, the very first match. Our first match, we have a 6-person tag match. We have Irikani, Chiko Shikawa, and Hagane Shino. And I forgot that Chi and Hagane used to be called the Hot Tarts or something like that, or Pop Tarts. I don't know. A real good tag team. They face against Hiroyi Yawada, Masahiro Takanashi, and Emi Sakura. Now, of course, when it comes to Emi Sakura and Masa, those two are, in fact, are not playing any games whatsoever because that's always been who they are. But I was a bit surprised how this match would have ended because, in my opinion, I would have thought Emi Sakura and Masa would have been the stronger team that win, but no, it was Chi, who we have seen grown up significantly, picked up the win when she pinned a Hiroyi, and just like that, it was over. Our next match, we have Miya Yatsuba teaming up with Saki, and they take on Sayaka and Tokiko Kirihara. Now, seeing Miya and Saki was interesting. Not too long ago, they were in a bit of a rivalry in an event this year, and I was a bit more like, okay, what's that meant? But it's no secret about Sayaka and Tokiko because those two were trained at the same time. They're part of the fourth generation girls that Emi Sakura trained. But however, when it comes to Miya and Saki, I like to consider them as that they had the stack against them because Sayaka and Tokiko, they're good friends. They even trained together and all that. Miya and Saki are from two different generations. But however, they were able to pick up a good one when they applied a somewhat of a combination onto Sayaka. First, it was Miya with her usual like kind of like a orange punch type, and Saki with a bit of a somewhat of a driver, and just like that, Miya and Saki won. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if those two team up and challenge for the Asian Dream Tag Team titles, which is kind of obvious to me that could happen down the road, but we'll see. Now, our main event, we have another 6-person tag match. We have Nonaka Seto, Minoru Fujita, and Sayaka Obihiro. They take on Kaho Hiromi, and she teams up with the Best Bros, Balina Aki and Mei Shruga. It's an interesting to see Kaho and Mei team up on this matter because they're both similar. I mean, Mei is a bit of a reckless, while Kaho, she's a bit childish in some capacity, if you guys notice. So that always been anything, but it's no secret that Minoru Fujita and Obi have teamed up in the past. I mean, if you guys ever seen some of their previous tag team match in ChocoPro, they used to wear one of those kitchen aprons because those who know this, Obi day job, she works as a chef at some restaurant. Yeah, and Minoru Fujita likes to go there all the time. So that plays it out. But how did this match end? I mean, we did see, of course, a bit of the frying pan and gong taking place, but towards the end, it was Meishru pick up the win with the help of Balanaki when they applied the Dolphin Press on Nonoka Seto, and just like that, it was over. Now for our Jonkin tournament, this one was a little tough pill to swallow. We did see a moment where the Best Bros went up each other, but it was Balanaki who walked away. But the one thing that was interesting is towards the end where the finalists were none other than Hagen Nishino and Kaho. And I think many people were probably hoping Kaho walked in, but Hagen Nishino, who has no problem with Kaho, he was like they were doing the he did scissors, she did paper and lost, but Hagen is like, what just happened? Did he just win? He was like a bit clueless, but he won the chocolate. So just like that, it was over. So I had a great time, and I do know we do have another ChocoPro event taking place soon. Hopefully that's going to be on the next episode. But for right now, let's move on with our next and final review, and this one is from AEW's Fight for the Fallen. Okay, AEW Dynamite, Fight for the Fallen, the start of the year for them. This opened up with, of course, Jon Moxley. As you know, he likes to talk and brag and preach about certain things, especially as you know, he considered guys like Orange Cassidy, Hangman, and Jay White that are causing chaos in AEW. He thinks that he is the savior of some sorts. But now he has to contempt with someone else who, in fact, is possibly, maybe, just maybe targeting his kingdom or something. But we'll see how that will progress down the road. Now, speaking of Adam Copeland and, of course, FTR, better known as Rated FTR, as you probably can guess, they sent a direct message. But Cope actually did state that he saw fear coming into Jon Moxley's eyes. So basically, his kingdom is falling apart. The seed that he wants to build a brand new AEW could be in jeopardy, but only time will tell. See what happens. Now, our very first match starting the new year features Orange Cassidy and Hangman Page. Now, how do we got here to this match? Simple. Orange Cassidy had this match won, but Hangman was successfully to pull the ref to ensure. So that's how it is. Now, we did see some great moments. I mean, Orange Cassidy tried to apply orange punches, but Hangman was able at the last shot to do with the buckshot lariat, and just like that, pick up the win. But however, he decided to continue punishing Orange Cassidy even further after he defeated him. So I don't know if we're going to see a feud between those two, but only time will tell. Now, speaking of what happened in World's End, Jay White has not forgotten the person that cost him the opportunity to become AEW World Champion, and that is Wheeler Yuta. So he also mentioned that he will be involved in the Casino Gauntlet match, but he will be winning, hopefully to win the top spot of the whole thing. So we'll see how that rolls up. Now, our next match, we have the Acclaim, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens taking on the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Now, remember, recently Max Caster has been acting very, very obnoxious in certain levels. Not to mention, however, in this a certain moment, Anthony Bowens had this match won in every aspect of this, but for some odd reason, Max Caster, with his selfishness and childish ways, or his arrogance, however you guys want to call it, tagged himself in, but costing the match. But however, Bowens felt like, what the hell, man? I had this match under control. He decided to act like a total glory hog, but in result, Max Caster ended up on the wrong side of the Hurt Lock by Bobby Lashley, and just like that, it was over. But Anthony Bowens just walked that out. So I think many people are speculating the possibility this could be the end of the Acclaim. So only time will tell. Now, we did see Alex Marvez conduct an interview with the former AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. As you probably know, he asked him the question about why he did to Ricochet, but he meant what he did, that sort of thing. But right now, his focus is to regain the AEW World Championship. So that's pretty what he's going to do. Now, our next match, we have Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart. How do we got to this match? Simple. We know that Julia Hart was out for a while due to an injury, but because of that, she decided to target Jamie Hayter, who came back also from an injury. But for weeks, we've been seeing her interrupting her interviews, promos, that sort of thing. But now they are face to face. But the real question is, can Jamie Hayter do what she needs to do? Well, apparently, nope. Julia Hart decided to miss Jamie Hayter and pick up the pinfall, and just like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie Hayter gets a measure of revenge for what transpired. So only time will tell until that's happened. Now, as you know, Mercedes Moné come out, does her promo to celebrate 2024's, her victory, and not to mention her success. But now she is targeting for Mina Shirakawa's the Rev Pro, the undisputed British women's title. So basically, she feels that this will be her year to gain all the gold as possible. Don't forget, she's the current TBS champion, the current New Japan Strong Women's champion. So that's going to be a long way to go. So we'll see where that goes from there. Now, Alex Marvez conducts another interview, but this time we have the reunite of the version we've been wanting to see of the Undisputed Kingdom. Of course, we see Roderick Strong, who will be part of that three-way match, but he's joined by Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. So it seems now Kyle O'Reilly is now part of the Undisputed Kingdom, so it looks more like the conglomeration lost a member, but I'm sure they'll be fine by then. So nothing to worry about it. But however, Roderick Strong does have his eyes to be involved in that spot. So we'll get to that right now. So it's now Roderick Strong, Jay White, and Swerve Strickland. So anything could happen in these three ways. But the one thing that really shook it is Ricochet attacked Swerve Strickland with a pair of golden scissors. As you know, Ricochet was embarrassed after what happened, where he did not win in the semifinals um of the Continental Classic, and now he gets because of that, uh, Jay White was able to apply the Blade Runner onto Roderick Strong and won the match. But however, Ricochet decided to and during the post match, while Jay White won the match, Ricochet just completely lost control. He became like a crazy madman with all this blood all over him. But of course, he decided to hurt Swerve. But luckily, the other members of the Undisputed Kingdom, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, showed up to help out Swerve because they cannot take what Swerve was thinking. Now, what Swerve was going through, and of course, what Ricochet's going out of his mind. I'm sure Swerve would thank them, but of course, Adam Cole would say something nice to him. So we'll see where that leads. Now, Jeff Jarrett has a big announcement. Before that, he is having a bit of a pep talk with Sanjay Dutt and of course Satnam Singh about about what he's gonna do. Even his wife Karen Jarrett even talked about everything, and she said that no matter what, that she will always love and support him. So we'll see what happens. Now, however, in the promo, he talks about his family history. His grandma, his dad, his choices that of course, people said he shouldn't be involved in the wrestling business. He did, and of course TNA. But now he said that he will be involved in that a gauntlet match in hopes to become AEW World Champion. So that's something we could definitely see. Now, of course, as you know, Hook has been pursuit against Christian Cage for quite some time after someone attacked his dad. So most likely, Hook is not done. So he told him that he'll be coming from after what he did to his so-called son, Nick Wayne, last week. So we'll see where that leads us. Now, before the main event, we did see, of course, Learning Tree talking, and Jericho was not involved, but he decided to go in the faces of Rated FTR. But of course, Cope decided to call, the Brian Keith, he's not the bad apple, he's just nothing but a leaf, and all this, and he called Big Bill that he has a stupid face. That how about in Collision, the three of you against the three of us, that sort of thing. And he goes, "Bye guys." So basically, they're kind of baffled. So it's pretty interesting to see how that was going through. But I don't know what Jericho would think. Now, speaking of the Gauntlet match, as you probably can guess, another person who is now happy and satisfied with the fact that he retained the Dynamite Diamond ring, is now also aiming to get back what he was lost, and that is none other than MJF. So he made it perfectly clear he is involved in that Gauntlet match. So we'll see where that goes from there. Now, our main event, we have the Death Riders, consistent of Wheeler Yuta, Claudio, and Mox. No Pac for some odd reason. They take on Rated FTR. So the match was pretty much how you expect, a bit more violent, going everywhere. But however, Jay White made his promise that he'll get even with Wheeler Yuta, costing him the match at World's End, and that's exactly what he did. While Claudio was busy, Claudio did not see what happened, but we did see an amazing combination on Yuta. First, it was the Shattered Machine by FTR, and then Cope's spear, and just like that, it was completely over. Rated FTR picked up their first win of 2025. But the real question is, should Jon Moxley be worried now that his entire kingdom that he is trying to rebuild is in jeopardy? That is something we probably will see down the road. But the real question, what does he think of it? Well, that's a very good question. We just got to wait and see. Now, I think that's pretty much it what we have for all our reviews, especially with AEW. Let's move on with our last and final thing we're going to do is news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So let's begin with upcoming events. The first thing we're going to do is talk about GCW. We have a whole lot of things coming up from that. Now, as you know, on January 19th of this year, there will be in New York City for the People versus GCW. Two matches have been announced involving that particular day. The first one is Megan Bayne versus the Silver Tooth Satan, Active Cougar. So this is going to be a brutal match. I don't think Megan Bayne has ever been in this type of situation. I mean, Acticus Cougar, he is a monster. He has no care in the world. But if I'm Joey Janela, I would watch her back, knowing too well what he's capable of. But the other match is a steel cage match between Charles Mason and Richard Holiday. So this is payback for what Richard Holiday did to Charles Mason last year, where he sent them to jail. So we'll see where that goes. Now, GCW announced for a schedule for 2025 some events, and this is the what they have. On January 31st, they will be in Indianapolis. February 28th, which if you guys are from the San Diego area, well, they're coming here to my town. So, haven't debated yet if I want to go or not. I missed the last one with the Monster Bash, but I was feeling a bit sick last time, so hopefully I get a chance. And then, of course, March 1st, they will be making their way to LA. I'm thinking they're going to be at the UCC. And then there's going to be a 2-day event at in Atlantic City on March 15th and 16th. And then finally, July 11th at Dallas. So pretty much that's the schedule for GCW of 2025. Now, Ring of Honor has announced that the Women's World Television title will be defended. Red Velvet defends her belt against Hanako. So she'll be making her way from Japan all the way to this. I'm pretty sure she was there during the tapings, but we'll see. Thailand promotion Set Up will have their next event on the 18th later on this month for the Bangkok Navigation. Paksaw will be in action to take on the Genius of the Arc from Pro Wrestling Noah, Naomichi Marufuji. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then finally, WrestleCon, that will probably take place during WrestleMania week in Indianapolis, I believe. That's the place where they're going to be. Indy Hartwell has been announced to be participating in the event. So that's a lot of fun to listen to. So we'll see how things will go. Now, moving on to developments. TNA has announced that they signed Sinner and Saint, consistent of Judas Icarus and Travis Williams. Mike Bailey, many of you may know that that he is now officially a free agent, and now it's been reported that he most likely could be headed to AEW. So we'll just have to wait and see until it's officially been announced. Dustin Rhodes, his daughter, many of you know her, and of course her mother, Terry Runnels, Dakota Runnels. As you probably will hear now or haven't heard, it seems that her son, Rowan will be now a big brother, so they're expecting she is expecting baby number 2. So looks like Grandpa Dustin's gonna be spoiling his second grandchild. So that's gonna be great. Good news for all those Riho fans. Our first ever AEW Women's World Champion. Apparently, she put this on her blog. Many of you may not know this. She recently attended AEW's World's End. She was in backstage, but it was reported that she actually revealed that she was training in the ring before the doors open. So she's not medically cleared, but she could get the official word within 30 days. So we'll see what happens. But also she revealed that she may drop some weight. So hopefully we get to see her. I mean, I feel bad that she's been injured multiple times, but hopefully she's 100% healed and hopefully she gets back on track. And then finally, it was reported that Scott D'Amore has been brought in by WWE to become the part of the head of the creative in and booking for NXT, while Shawn Michaels and Triple H oversees Raw and SmackDown. I mean, we know that Scott D'Amore, he is no longer officially working with TNA since he got fired. I know he set up that promotion in Canada for the Maple Leaf Pro. I'm not sure if that's still gonna go on. But I don't know what TNA would think of Scott D'Amore now involved with the WWE. So we'll see what happens down the road. But it's great to hear that he's doing okay. That's all that matters. And him going to become head of creative and booking in NXT, I'd say I'm in for that. So I think that's pretty much it for our news updates. So let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. As you probably can guess, 2025 is starting out good. But however, as you probably know right about now, there's still some events I have not finished from 2024. I'm still behind from the GLEAT shows throughout the entire month of December. I may have to do those at some point and catch up. We still got, of course, more ChocoPro coming up. I haven't seen 416, which was in Shinjuku Face. I'm sure that will be out real soon. Soon we'll be having, of course, the two double shows with the MARIGOLD and Stardom on the 3rd. So basically, we'll be standing behind that. But of course, our top priority for our next episode will be Ring of Honor and TNA. So if there's anything else, we'll just have to wait and see. If there's any other events that I'm planning to review, we'll just wait and see what happens until then. But for now, we'll leave things as it is and we move forward. So until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.